The hidden law of attraction. Here's the truth. Attraction isn't born from money, kindness, or politeness. It comes from the deepest part of the primitive brain, the place that decides in an instant whether you're unforgettable or forgettable. Centuries ago, Machiavelli revealed that humans aren't driven by morality but by power, fear, and desire. That's why the nice guy is often overlooked, while the man who radiates calm confidence and subtle danger awakens a fascination that's hard to resist. In this video, you'll discover the 6 pillars of what's known as the dirty method, small but powerful psychological shifts that make her restless when you're gone, drawn when you're near, and unable to replace you. These aren't tricks, they're strategies that rewire how attraction works at its most primal level. Stay until the end, because once you master these, you'll never chase again. You'll become the gravity she can't escape. Pillar 1. Movement, the art of disruption. Movement means disruption, the art of breaking her rhythm and snapping her out of emotional autopilot. Modern women are surrounded by men in their messages, workplaces, and social circles. Yet, 99% of them blend into the same predictable pattern. They text the same, act the same, and move the same. And because the human mind isn't drawn to comfort, but to contrast, these men fade into the background. You must become the disruption, not through noise or forced confidence, but through presence. It's in how you move, how you enter a space, how your energy alters the atmosphere. Picture a crowded room. Most men talk too fast, laugh too loudly, or lean in too soon. Their energy screams desperation. Then there's you, calm, deliberate, still. You don't chase energy, you control it. Your silence doesn't create discomfort. It builds tension. It makes her wonder, who is he? Your silence doesn't create discomfort. It builds tension. It makes her wonder, who is he? That's real movement, not physical, but psychological. The one who disrupts the pattern becomes both feared and desired. Her nervous system is wired this way. Predictability feels safe. Unpredictability feels exciting. And while safety relaxes her, excitement makes her come alive. When your presence breaks her mental script, her pulse quickens. She can't explain it, but her body feels it first. To apply this, slow down when you walk into a room. Don't rush to fill silence. When you speak, say something that interrupts her pattern, not to impress, but to stand out. When you hold her gaze, don't look away first. Let her break eye contact. The moment she does, the power shifts. You've become the center of gravity. This isn't acting, it's biology. Movement makes her subconscious register you as a safe threat. Intriguing, not dangerous. The man who moves differently becomes the one she remembers. The man who disrupts his rhythm becomes the one she dreams about. That's the first pillar, movement. Pillar 2, attitude. The throne within. Women don't fall for words. They fall for gravity. Every woman will test you, not out of malice, but instinct. She'll tease, challenge, and pull away to see if you can hold your ground when the world shakes. Most men fail this test. They defend themselves, over-explain, laugh nervously, and chase approval. That's when attraction dies quietly. The strong man doesn't defend, doesn't chase, doesn't explain. He remains centered. He lets her energy crash against his and break like waves against stone. True leadership isn't declared, it's felt. Women sense your confidence before you speak. Machiavelli said, never explain your authority. Sit on the throne and let it speak for you. That's attitude, the invisible crown real men wear. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. It's knowing who you are and not stepping down from it. Embodiment is simple. Stay grounded, voice steady, gaze calm. Don't seek, don't plead. React with control. Small men overreact. Kings observe. When she teases, don't defend. When she withdraws, don't chase. Just stay composed. Because deep down, Women don't crave validation, they crave stability. True dominance isn't control over her, but control over yourself. Attitude is the silent command that shapes the energy of the room. Once she feels that, her tests stop, not because you've won, but because she's chosen to follow your calm. That's the second pillar. Attitude. Pillar 3, neglect. The discipline of absence. Desire doesn't grow when you give more. It grows when you give less. Most men destroy attraction by confusing attention with seduction. They think constant messaging, compliments, and presence will make them wanted. But what's abundant is ignored. What's scarce is valued. All men give her attention, but the man who withholds it, who retreats when things peak, becomes unforgettable. This is the discipline of absence, not rejection. Machiavelli noted, "It's the absent who are most spoken of." Here's how it works. When energy is high, laughter flowing, chemistry building, that's when you leave. Not when things fade, but at their peak. Her brain releases dopamine during pleasure, but if you vanish at that high point, her mind becomes hooked. She replays your words, your silence. You never truly leave. So delay replies. Leave calls early. End meetings when the atmosphere still burns. Her brain hates open loops. It craves closure. And when you withdraw at the right moment, you become that missing piece. But meeting matters. Neglect without purpose is absence. Neglect with timing is power. Withdraw when she least expects it, when she's most engaged. That's how interest turns into obsession. What she can't fully have, she'll never forget. That's neglect. Pillar 4, boldness. The moment of truth. Most men build attraction, but lose it at the moment of truth. Fear takes over. Fear of rejection, of being too much, of breaking the moment. But women don't wait for hesitation. They wait for boldness. Machiavelli wrote, "Fortune favors the bold." For fortune, like desire, is feminine. Desire responds not to words, but to energy, to the man who moves when others freeze. Boldness isn't aggression, it's precision, knowing when to act without apology. In those charged moments, a lingering gaze, a deep silence, most men overthink. The bold man moves closer, steady and sure. He doesn't seek permission. He reads energy and acts with clarity. That's what separates him from the rest. Desire thrives on tension, the balance of safety and risk. So don't dissolve silence too soon. Let it breathe. Boldness is acting despite fear. When energy calls, move. Because hesitation kills moments faster than rejection ever could. Boldness is the confidence that says, "I know who I am. I know what I want." The man who moves with boldness leaves a mark that comfort never can. That's the fourth pillar, boldness. Pillar 5, the magnetic touch. Words can lie, presence can be faked, but touch never deceives. Long before language, humans communicated through touch, dominance, safety, affection. The body remembers what the mind forgets. Yet most men fail at this. They touch too soon, too often, or too desperately. Their hands speak the language of need, but when timed right, touch bypasses logic and connects directly to instinct. Mastering touch is about contrast, not pressure, but rhythm. It's not how you touch, but when you stop. A light brush during laughter, a gentle guide through a door, a fleeting tap that lingers slightly longer than space. The absence amplifies the memory. Her body begins to miss your touch before her mind does. You're not just touching skin, you're programming association, safety, tension, curiosity. The right touch triggers chemistry. Oxytocin and dopamine flood her system. Even when she forgets your words, her body remembers your energy. True magnetic touch says, "I could, but I don't have to." It balances safety and danger. That's what drives fascination, because any man can touch her body, but few can touch her nervous system, and fewer her soul. That's the fifth pillar, the magnetic touch. Pillar 6, cold reading, the power of seeing her soul. Every woman wants to be seen, not for her appearance, but for what lies behind it. Most men are blind to these layers. The perceptive man listens between words, notices what's unsaid, and reflects it back without judgment. Machiavelli wrote, "To rule men, read their fears. To rule women, read their hidden hunger." That hunger isn't for attention, but for understanding. When you see something she hasn't spoken, the way her tone shifts when nervous, or how her laughter hides tension, she feels exposed, yet safe. This isn't manipulation. It's awareness, noticing energy, reading emotion, reflecting truth. Done gently, it builds trust and emotional gravity. When she feels truly seen, she bonds beyond logic. She lets her guard down, not because you demanded it, but because you understood her without asking. Cold reading awakens something ancient, the instinct to follow the one who truly sees. Once you master this, the games stop. She removes the mask. She shows you her real self, and that's the highest form of connection. Being the mirror to her soul. Once you understand emotion, you can shape it. When you can shape emotion, you can shape attraction. And when you can shape attraction, you can shape everything: relationships, influence, success. The principles remain: presence, precision, power. You stop waiting to be chosen. You shape the game. From now on, you don't beg for attention. You command it. You don't chase love. You draw it in. You don't seek validation. You embody it. You become gravity, the force everything else revolves around. If this message resonates, comment one word: awake. That's where awareness begins. And if you're ready to go deeper, share this with a man who needs it. Because we're building minds that don't beg, they attract, lead, and rise. Stay focused, stay awake.